Helen Yee here in Arizona at Tim Welch BJJ, being joined by the fan favorite, Mr. Sean OMalley. First off, thank you so much for the amazing merch. Yes. I love it.
Yes, thank you guys. You guys always, I enjoy your guys' interviews. You always come to me. I don't got to do much, so I appreciate you guys.
Well, we always appreciate talking to you, and I happen to notice the number 17.
Yep. I mean, that's the plan, 17-0 after this fight. People don't like that, but it is what it is.
Well, speaking of this fight, I know it will be in Abu Dhabi and 2 days before your birthday. So is that kind of the goal, to go in there, finish Peter, and then celebrate your birthday in Abu Dhabi?
I'll be back in Phoenix, ideally. I think I might be flying back the 24th, which will be Monday. They have my flight Sunday at like 8 a.m., so it's like
early,
12 hours after the fight. So I'm probably rescheduling that. I plan on this being a war. And so, yeah, I'll probably be flying back on my birthday. But it'll be nice because I think the last 2 years in a row I fought in December. So birthday, Thanksgiving. Wait, Thanksgiving is November, right?
Yeah.
And then Christmas. They were all like kind of just not really. So this is going to be nice. Yeah, fight October and then call it the rest of the year and try to fight early next year ideally. So it'll be nice.
Yeah, and to be able to not only enjoy your birthday, but the holidays as well. But looking at that fight against Peter, I mean, you're a pretty sizable underdog.
I think if you ask the smartest guys, the best fighters in the world, what do you guys think? They're like, oh, I don't know. It's a tough one. But you ask like the casuals and it's like, oh, Peter's going to smoke him. He's, 3-1 underdog or whatever. But I think I'm a little surprised, but I kind of get it from other people's perspectives. But I believe I'm better than Petr Yan, and I believe I'm going to go out there and beat his ass. So I guess I am kind of surprised.
But with the win over Peter, is the expectation and the plan to fight for that title next?
Pretty much. I mean, I don't see it going any other way. It's hard to say. Obviously, I go out there, get through Peter. It depends. Aljo, TJ, who wins? Is there injuries? Is there surgeries? That Cheeto fight's always lingering around. I believe that will make most sense in the title picture. But we have options. The bantamweight division is the most stacked division in the UFC right now. It's so fun. So we got options. Ideally, go out there, knock Peter out, fight for the title next year, and then yeah.
And did the UFC say anything to you about this fight, saying that the winner will get that title shot next?
No, but how are you not going to give the guy with the biggest name a title shot after beating the number one contender? I mean, that's just how the UFC works. So I think that, I'm pretty sure I'll get the title shot.
And with all the success that you've had, especially coming from Dana White's Contender Series, not even 28 years old yet, do you ever sit back and reflect on everything and be like, wow, what a journey it's been so far? And you're not even, like I said, 28.
Yeah, I do that a lot in camp, because in camp for, really 12 weeks, but even more so the closer it gets, it's like I find myself outside alone when it's at nighttime, kind of preparing for bed before I get in the cold plunge and, thinking about that stuff like that. Like, damn, this is crazy. I'm walking around my giant ass backyard with it is crazy. I do have a lot of time to sit back, kind of reflect on that. And I've been in the UFC for 5 years now, which is just mind blowing to think, like, even if I have 10 more years in fighting, it's like that 5 years went so quick that I only have that 2 more times and then it's done. So I really want to make sure I take advantage of being young enough to fight and compete, because I do love competing, and you get to an age where you can't do that anymore. So I want to take advantage of that. And I think with my longevity, the way I treat my body, eat, recover, and the stuff that I do, except for when I do party a couple times out of the year, not too often, but I do think I'll have a really good longevity in this sport and be able to fight for a while.
And hey, it's okay to party because life's about balance too, right?
Yeah, partying though is you got to be careful, because you can get sucked in there and you catch yourself partying more than you need to. But I feel like I've done a really, really, really good job not doing that and staying dialed.
Definitely, and your fights speak for itself as well. But speaking of that, Will Harris did a great job documenting you for a day. And he was on Joe Rogan's podcast. He mentioned that Khabib has a great read on fighters and the fighters' talent. And he said that Khabib actually said, you're like the real deal, and kind of talked about your talent. So what does that mean to hear something like that from Khabib, a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's funny you said that. I literally listened to that probably 10 minutes ago, like when I was driving here because I was finishing up that podcast. And yeah, that's cool. I mean, like I said about the high-level fighters, when they talk about me versus Peter, I think high-level fighters see I'm a legit motherfucker. Like, I'm not just fancy and do this crazy shit. I have legitimate skills. And so it was really cool, to be honest. I thought, hearing something like that from Khabib is, he's one of the GOATs. So that was really cool.
And lastly, another fight on your card in that main event, Islam versus Charles Oliveira. How do you see that fight unfolding given, both their backgrounds?
God, I see Charles marching out there with that high front knee, doing his thing. I honestly haven't really watched a ton of Islam, more a little bit of his recent stuff, but it's crazy how hyped up he is literally because Khabib says how good he is. I mean, obviously he's went out there and competed and performed really well in his last couple fights too, but we're so excited about this guy. A lot of the reason is because Khabib says how good he is, and people in the training room and stuff too, which is rare. We're not super hyped because of all the crazy performances he's had. It's more so just because Khabib thinks this guy's the best in the world. And I would love to see Charles go out there and get the job done. Very excited about that fight.
And for all the fans who are very excited for your fight against Petr Yan, October 22nd in Abu Dhabi, what would you like to let them know?
Yeah, I mean, I've never went into a fight and not just fucking felt great. The preparation, especially for this fight camp, has been so good. We still have 4 weeks out, so I don't want to jinx anything, but everything's been going so good. I'm just really excited. I wish this fight was in 2 weeks. I wish I was in Abu Dhabi right now. I wish it was fight week. I wish we were fighting in 5 days. I'm so excited for this opportunity. I believe Peter will bring the best out of me. I thought Pedro Munoz was going to. People talk about that fight wasn't blah blah blah. He didn't hit me once. I mean, it wasn't going his way. Let's just say that. But I do think Peter will bring the best out of me, and it's going to be an exciting fight.